aboard first here in this division round matchup. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. Looking to put a drive together. They start the drive with Lynch. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And they're able to bring him down at the 20. That one a first down pickup of 8. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try to keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown game.
The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
And when you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
Here's Newton. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to the ground, Lynch. A strong running. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
16 yards. First down, Panthers.
Throwing is Newton. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. They run with Thomas. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the Cowboys' 3-yard line.
Ready, set. Ready.
To throw is Newton. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. A big one coming in this divisional round playoff. 3rd and goal.
Get it.
Newton. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. They snap it to Newton. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
A really well-executed fade route offers little risk for the offense. If you throw it to the outside where only the receiver can get it, it's either a touchdown or an incompletion, but no big play for the defense.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
70, hop 70.
Out of the gun, it's McNair.
Let's take it in by downs.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
McNair. And that falls to the ground, incomplete.
A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Okay, great.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Panther 60, Panther.
McNair to throw.
He's got his running.
Oh, it ain't going to be hit. He coughs it up, loose football. And it's picked up by the Panthers.
He was trying to do anything he could to get that final little bit for the first down. Instead, he lost the ball.
Yeah, and he was short of the first down, but not by much. Trying his best, as you noted, to get there. Sometimes that extra effort can cost you.
On the go.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. This offense, thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit. Let them catch their breath.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Now Newton. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Newton to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3 and out, and giving the ball back to their offense.
Ready.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
19, Tiger, 19.
The Panthers going for it on 4th. Newton. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Ready, ready. Liking 18.
They'll try the right side with Elliott. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As as usual, the hallmark of a good run defense? Linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Hey. 70 Lions. Let go.
Play action. It's McNair. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's McNair. That complete to Downs. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10, he got 9. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
They stopped him in his tracks. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down.
Go. Hawk 70. Hawk 70. Go.
It's a quarterback sneak. They only get a hard-fought yard, but that's all they needed. It pays off the decision to go for it, 1st and goal.
Well, you just totally get the sense there that a field goal was not in the game plan at all.
And the boys up front, they created the surge. I think they knew that they had the leverage advantage.
Oh, that's a great point there. Being able to get lower than the defensive front, create just enough space. And I love when those quarterbacks get low and slide in there and get it done.
And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Ready. 70 Timberwolves.
McCaffrey. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
Yeah, they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
From back at the 3 now, this is 3rd and goal. Now McNair toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
But remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ready.
Back to throw, Newton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Newton now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches. At the Cowboys' 45-yard line.
Now Newton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that he can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
First catch for him in these playoffs. He was held without one last week, but he's got a first down on that effort.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Panthers first down.
Throwing again is Newton. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And they may just be content to take this three-point lead and head into the locker room.
Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
To throw, McNair.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And the Panthers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
The big completion there, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Very heady football. That allows them the opportunity to go ahead and line up and kick one right before the half ends.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway.
And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And, CD, we are in for a very intriguing second half. This is what we wanted, all tied. This is what postseason football is all about.
It certainly is. And doesn't it speak to the parity in the NFL? Roughly half the teams that made the playoffs the year before miss the next year, get replaced. We know it's an any given Sunday mentality. Nothing's easy in the playoffs, but when you have your shot, they're eager to seize it.
First down, the run with Lynch.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. We've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
Nice, Cuddy.
Newton now to throw. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. From the 23, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's go.
Now it's Newton.
To the right side and intercepted.
And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Let go.
Here's McNair.
Now he's going to step up and run.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Y'all got to pump my taste. Y'all can't talk about basic.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Panther 60, Panther 60. 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. Go.
Back to throw. McNair. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Go. 70 Timberwolves.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down. Stopped at the Panthers' 23. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Go. Cowboy 80. Ready, ready?
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Defensively, they were in the 3-4, and that O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here, because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has the 2 defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them. That creates a natural bubble inside. When they sprint upfield, take on the inside linebackers. If the back hits it fast enough, there shouldn't be space to run.
When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1 yard line. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Here we go. Set.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. This is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter.
So this game tied at the half, but we are tied no more. A touchdown there on the opening sequence of this 3rd quarter.
And what a great drive put together by their offensive coordinator. He had a plan, and they executed it almost to perfection, coming right out of the locker room. Now they're feeling good about their chances here in the 2nd half.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Okay, break.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this is a unit that needs to get in gear if they want to play for a conference championship next weekend. Down 7 here in the 4th, and a very critical drive upcoming. From the 29, here's 2nd and 5.
At the 29-yard line.
Here's Newton. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Trying to get a big strike right there and hopefully tie this game up in the late going. But the coverage was there, and this winds up incomplete.
Ready, set.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
68.
Here's Newton. He'll try and do this himself. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, was smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
19, Charger.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position.
Ready, ready. Let's go. Cougar 19.
Now McNair. Gets this one to Morris. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
Now, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Now they'll change things up. Inside give to Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. 10th carry now for Elliott. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Morris. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this one is right through. And they double them up here. That makes our score 20-10. So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the 4th quarter, the divisional round. They need to come up with something as they get this drive started.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete.
Come on. 60 by 6.
Newton. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Desperation time. Newton, fourth down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And the Panthers turned away on fourth down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they work this near the 5. They'll be stopped at the 6. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
And that's a great run, and this is where you've got a running back who feels like he needs to take over this football game. You're in the second half, you got the lead, you're looking at moving on to the conference championship, and he's got to be saying, just keep giving me the ball, and I'll get us home.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. On the quick handoff, it's Juszczyk. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal. Fourth quarter, holding on to a lead. Fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me, because I remember my coaches in this situation. I remember one time my head coach into his headset telling the offensive...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Cowboys are moving closer to a date now, the NFC Championship game, as they're able to extend this fourth quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. The defense rising to the challenge and setting them back on the sand. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Here's Newton. He finds his man, complete. That's Clayton. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
To throw is Newton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here we go on 4th. Newton. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Good gain there on first down, and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
Not in any rush offensively. And they have secured a spot in the